Indy Mogul.
The Academy Awards are this Sunday, and of course, we're all excited to see who will win the most prestigious award in Hollywood. But you know, only a select group of industry professionals gets to vote on who wins those Oscars, and those people see movies for free. Meanwhile, the audience actually pays to see movies, but doesn't get a say. Not cool, Hollywood. But don't worry, because Beyond the Trailer is all about empowering the audience. So we asked people to vote for who they thought deserved an Oscar. We even had a write-in section in case they thought someone had been overlooked. The polls have closed, the audience has spoken, and Beyond the Trailer is going to tell you what they said. Right now. Hit it, Alan.
Welcome to the Beyond the Trailer Audience Oscar Vote with special guest stars. Obama Girl from Barely Political, Indy Mogul's Eric Beck, Derek D. from Fastlane Daily, Mark Douglas from Barely Digital, Rob and Corinne from Threadbanger, Bobby Miller from Best Short Films in the World, and your host, Grace Randolph, who later in the show will be giving away a free Blu-ray player to one very lucky voter. Best Supporting Actress with Rob Zarr and Corinne Lee from Threadbanger.
A nun trying to support her faith.
An ex-wife who doesn't understand why she can't support her ex-husband.
A mother who hopes her quiet support will carry her son through the storm.
A woman who takes in and supports a weird little baby when no one else will.
And finally, a stripper who tries to support a customer without crossing the line.
This might sound a little complex.
But as people who make their own clothes, we know a lot about support.
That's right, and I mean intimate support. Last week we showed you how to make your own underwear.
And indeed, all of the nominees for Best Supporting Actress bared their souls on the silver screen in some of the most heartbreaking performances of the year.
But who do you think deserves the Oscar? Let's find out.
And the audience gives the Oscar to...
Hold on. To Reggie P. Henson.
Awesome choice, everyone. And Henson sure could use an Oscar, as she's told the press she doesn't have a single offer for another acting gig. Tough town. I mean, look, a nun, an ex-wife, two mothers, and a stripper walk into a room. Sounds like the beginning of a joke, right? But the only real joke here is the limited range of roles given to actresses these days. Anyway, I digress. Let's take a closer look at the votes. As you can see, this category was wide open, although interestingly, Taraji P. Henson took the lead early in our poll and never looked back, despite late surges for Amy Adams, Marissa Tomei, and Penelope Cruz. And very few write-ins for this category, so it looks like you were pretty happy with the Academy's picks. But will the Academy agree with you that Henson deserves the gold? I'd say this race will still be just as hard to predict on Sunday as it was here.
Best Supporting Actor with Mark Douglas from Barely Digital.
Ooh, I like this category. This year, the Academy finally agreed that when actors are allowed to let loose, go a little crazy, sometimes the results can be most explosive. This year's Best Supporting Actor nominees didn't just entertain us, they fascinated us with the risks they took. Hey, and before you tell me that Philip Seymour Hoffman and Josh Brolin didn't take any risks, well, I say you're wrong. It was bold of Hoffman to play yet another creepy pervert without worrying that it might dawn on the audience that he's really good at playing creepy perverts and seems to enjoy it. Josh Brolin once again proved to be fearless about playing characters with terrible hair. When they make that Rod Blagojevich biopic, I think we know who they're going to call first. Bravo, gentlemen. Now let's see which one of you won this thing. Heath Ledger!
Now, if this isn't just the perfect example of bittersweet, I want to celebrate, but all I can think about is that the guest of honor can't attend his own party. Let's bring up those results. Wow, as you can see, there is just overwhelming support for the work Heath Ledger did on The Dark Knight. In fact, many of his fans in Australia are asking that the character of the Joker be retired from the Batman movies in honor of Ledger. As for Ledger's untimely death, Entertainment Weekly recently reported that he wasn't sent off the deep end by playing the Joker. Instead, the emotional toll of personal problems caused him to accidentally mix regular medications while just trying to get some sleep. Heath Ledger wasn't just a great actor, but a true professional.
Best Actress with the one and only Obama Girl, Amber Lee Ettinger.
2009 has been a year of change, and that includes the Best Actress category. While the Academy continues to honor the stellar work of Kate Winslet, Angelina Jolie, and of course Meryl Streep, there's a new generation making its voice heard. Anne Hathaway and Melissa Leo are not only nominated, but real contenders for the win. Well, maybe not both of them. I guess for every Obama there's a Kucinich. And the audience gives the Oscar to Kate Winslet. only there'd been a Hathaway girl.
Ah, so close to a new dawn. Seriously, check out these results. I can tell you that Anne Hathaway lost this by just 28 votes. I'd say she's got a decent shot on Sunday to overcome Winslet's double win mojo from the Golden Globes. And again, as with the Best Supporting Actress category, this was pretty wide open. Now, I don't know if it's because you all love what women are doing on screen these days, or because none of these actresses was able to stand out from the crowd. Although it is nice to see this year that nobody duped the Academy with the old, I didn't wear makeup, so give me an Oscar ploy.
Best Actor with Derek D. from Fastlane Daily.
Sometimes us dudes need to be alone. Personal journey that we need to take, kind of like a road trip. We get behind the wheel and just drive, stopping for only the essentials: food, sleep, chicks, and to ditch the crap, both literally and figuratively. But on the best road trips, we get a little lost and discover that stopping to see a sunset or two is also essential. As for the Best Actor nominees, each one went for a hell of a drive this year, and I'd be honored to ride shotgun with any of them. Now let's see who crossed the finish line first. Mickey Rourke.
And that is the perfect ending to the Mickey Rourke comeback story. We're talking about an actor who was off the radar for almost 20 years, and now it looks like he's going to star in Iron Man 2, a golden man who might be even more valuable to Rourke than the one he's most likely going to collect Sunday night. And how did Rourke do against his top-notch competition? Let's take a look. There are a couple of interesting things going on here. First off, we can see that Brad Pitt came very close to winning, and he might have come even closer, or even won, if it wasn't for the large amount of write-ins, 14%. So there's a slim chance for an upset on Sunday night, depending on whether or not the Academy feels it was Pitt or computers that did all the heavy lifting in Benjamin Button. Now with the write-ins, this is one of the categories where they really made a difference, and two actors drew the most heat. The first was Clint Eastwood for Gran Torino, who obviously a lot of people feel was snubbed by the Academy, especially since this is supposed to be his last acting role. And the second name is Heath Ledger for The Dark Knight. Even though Ledger easily won Best Supporting Actor, some fans seem to feel he should have competed in the main event.
Best Director with Bobby Miller from Best Short Films in the World.
The best ideas start small. What? Can we just do this in my apartment?
Be a team player, Bobby, come on.
I'm trying, Grace, but you can't spell team without T, and I haven't had tea in like 20 minutes. Oh God.
Better?
That steamed up my glasses. You know, the best ideas, they start small. And many of today's best filmmakers started out making short films. Sound familiar? So while we're here to celebrate epic films, never forget that those are just short films all grown up. I wonder who the best film daddy this year is. It's Danny Boyle. Duh.
Even with the option of a write-in, Danny Boyle takes the prize. And he doesn't just take it, he runs with it. Take a look at these numbers. Almost twice as many people voted for Danny Boyle than the runner-up, David Fincher. Danny Boyle will most likely win Sunday night, but it'll be a mixed bag because there's some controversy over his nomination. Some people feel that Boyle should be sharing his nomination with Loveleen Tandan, who is credited as his co-director on the film. The Academy is arguing and has strict rules dictating that only one person can be nominated for Best Director. Yet blogger Jan Lisa Hutner has pointed out that both Joel and Ethan Coen won the Best Director Oscar for last year's No Country for Old Men. Awkward. And what about our write-in section? Well, this is another category strongly affected as 16% of voters chose to submit a director not on the ballot. And half of those 16% chose Christopher Nolan for The Dark Knight. That puts him ahead of both Gus Van Sant and Stephen Daldry in terms of support from audiences, and points out yet another glaring snub from the Academy. The Directors Guild of America nominated Christopher Nolan, but he lost to Danny Boyle.
Best Picture with Indy Mogul's Eric Beck.
This is it. This is the big one. Best Picture. And by that, I mean the best picture of all of 2008. Now, I could probably show you how to build your own Oscar, but getting the real one is an honor I hope to see bestowed upon the fine work of an indie moguler one day. As for this year's nominee, I know a lot of you were pretty upset that The Dark Knight wasn't even nominated. Will we see an upset? Thank you to the write-in section. The suspense is killing me! Gary, please, the envelope. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the winner is... Slumdog Millionaire. Woo-hoo!
Of all the categories, this was where we were really expecting an upset. Let's see how close The Dark Knight came to victory. Surprisingly, not very close. Second place went to The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and quite frankly, this has got to be potentially very frustrating for the Benjamin Button team come Sunday night. Public opinion puts them in a close second in the Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Picture categories. And since the results here are very similar to what we've been seeing in other award ceremonies, the Academy could very likely be feeling the same way. So while Benjamin Button might be able to pull out a win in one of these categories on Sunday, they're most likely going to be wondering what would have happened if these other movies, Slumdog Millionaire and The Wrestler, hadn't been there to steal their thunder. But hey, competition's fierce in Hollywood as they make a lot of great movies. Let's take a peek at what they have in store for us in 2009. Looks like we're in for a good time, and beyond the trailer we'll be covering every single one of those movies, giving you behind-the-scenes information, industry expectations, and audience reactions, so that with so many choices you can make an informed decision at the box office. And if you subscribe, you'll never miss an episode. Now, last but certainly not least, it's time to give out that Blu-ray player. I would like to say that I wish I could give all of you a Blu-ray player. Hell, I wish I could give myself a Blu-ray player. However, sadly, I cannot do that. So, the lucky winner is Dylan and April. Congratulations, I'll be emailing you on Monday. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just went beyond the Oscars.
This week on WePCTV.
I headed out onto the street to talk to people directly about how computers affect their lives today and what the future holds for our PCs.
Well, I had this idea actually, where you put on like these glasses and then it has like a digital overlay of the real world.
WePCTV is brought to you by ASUS and Intel. You dream it, ASUS builds it, Intel inside.
Subscribe, comment, rate it.